Hey everyone, Sarah here. How are you? I'm so excited that you became and decided actually to become a part of this Intentional Impact Program's global experience community. I am thrilled to share with you a ton of insights, ideas, inspirations for you, for your future, for your business, for your team, for your family. It really is a unique opportunity that we are creating here. But I wanted to use this time today to really take you back many years ago into this incubator that actually got it all started. And we're gonna go back into my childhood, into medieval town of Škofja Loka in Slovenia. It's a small town. You can see it in one of those pictures here: red clay rooftops, a castle on top of a hill. And it really looks like this, and it's really small. We literally have one traffic light. Well, I think they installed a little bit more since then, but not many more. Um, it's a small town, small community. You walk everywhere, and everybody knows their name pretty much. And it's one of my kids' favorite places. We spent 4 months there last year. Um, so when I was thinking about, what are some of the ways that I can bring together my passion for travel, bring my clients to some of my most cherished places, like my hometown of Škofja Loka, my current town of New York. Although we live a little bit of out of New York City, there's still a very special place, and I love the energy, the hustle and bustle when you get through the streets of Manhattan. And then Hawaii, especially Honolulu, it has this amazing energy and this combination of wilderness and the metropolitan feel. Um, but it all started when I was a little kid. And these are the tangibles behind it. I don't know if you have heard me share the story before, but I grew up in multi-generational home. And my grandma and I spent a ton of time together. Her brother, in his younger age, was a sailor, and he traveled around the world, and from every place he visited he sent a postcard. And then some of her other friends traveled and they sent postcards. And once I began to travel with basketball, my first trip was, I think I was 12 or so. I started to send postcards home. So this is a very cherished collection that my parents brought over when my husband and I moved and made this home our home. I remember specifically as a kid looking into this postcard from Japan, and I just couldn't take my eyes off it. And my grandma would be telling me stories about, Japanese history, about geishas. We would go through the postcards, and I remember listing them, ranking them from my favorite and the most beautiful to a little bit less, through a lens of a 5-year-old kid. This one is from the Athens, for example. And they date back to the 50s, 60s, I mean, you name it. This one I believe is Hong Kong. I have yet to visit Hong Kong. But I also remember, when we were talking about places like United States, I felt like, oh, one day I wish to go there. I don't remember specifically saying I want to live in New York, but one of my desires was to go there, and sure enough, it came true. And there's an actually just come through another memory about Hawaii. Again, through the stories, through the postcards, through some of the movies, I always had this love-hate relationship with Hawaii because I had no idea. I knew there was a volcano in there and that it kept erupting, and to me that was petrifying idea itself. But then I also saw the videos and the hula dancers and ukuleles playing in the waves and the palm trees and the coconuts, and it was so fascinating. So that when I first got a chance to visit Hawaii in, what was it, 2010-ish, I would say? 2000, I think it was around there, 2009 or 2010. I'm not 100% certain right now. It felt like coming home. My soul was like, we're home. So, fast forward to these days, right? I was looking for something that can add incredible value to businesses, to teams, to leaders, to entrepreneurs, to world changers like you are here. That's why you are a part of this community. And I was looking for ways that maybe somebody has done something similar, maybe not. I was really open minded, and I was like, you know what? I had this vision for quite some time of bringing my clients to some of my favorite places and run retreats. But retreats itself, like you see them often, you travel to Bali, you travel to wilderness of the Midwest or whatever it is, right? Those retreats out there. And you meet there, you spend 3 days together, and then you return back into your own space. Something was missing in that equation for me. And then I got to experience a couple of those retreats myself, and sure enough, it was all great when we were there, but what I found missing was that when you came home, if you didn't buy into this ongoing support for afterwards, you're kind of left hanging, and it kind of left a little bitter taste in my mouth. I was like, I want to figure out a way that we can make it happen seamlessly, that when people return from this space, when they're inspired, relaxed, energized, and they tap into those creativity flow and big ideas, right? When we really take it up a notch, that they don't return and are left on their own in the cold reality, in the old expectations, in the old habits. I want to make sure that when they come back, we still continue working together. And that's what we created. And then I wanted to take it further. It's all good working with coaches and consultants, and it was due to my own mentor who challenged me a little bit. It's like, think bigger, think bigger, think bigger. So we created what you can see today, the Global Experience, Intentional Impact Programs Global Experience. And I am so excited about it. It's one of those things, when they say selling is easy when you absolutely love what you do. This thing, I can talk about it, I can feel it, I can smell it, I can taste it, I lived it, I am living it. And it makes it a lot different because each one of those destinations that I'm gonna taking my clients to, it's my home, either my hometown or my current home or home away from home, or my soul feels like home. So all of the experiences, all of those insights are first-hand insights. It's not that we're gonna go somewhere that I have never been before. It really creates a little bit different energy. And then also what shifts the perspective is the fact that my little ones have been in each and one of those spaces, and I will be interviewing them, and I'll let them share their own experiences, their own memories of how it was for them to be exploring my hometown of Škofja Loka. They have been there pretty much every year. Hawaii, New York City, their eyes lit up when they first got to New York City. It was like, oh, wow. When we were in Hawaii, mind you, there was a little time difference, but they could not sleep. They refused to go for naps in the afternoon. All they wanted to do was outside, playing with sand, being in the water, explore. And it was just such a relaxing experience for all of us. So I will have them on a camera when they are ready to talk about that, to give you a perspective also from through children's lens, because one of the things that does differentiate this global experience from any other retreats is the fact that your family can definitely tag along. It's not one of those things when you pack your suitcases and off you go and they don't see you for a week, unless that's what you choose to do. They are welcome to come along. And also with your team, I know that at a certain level, you have a support team in your business and you want to bring them closer. Maybe it's for strategic meeting. Maybe it's simply for practical reasons so that you don't have to turn around and have to explain everything when you come back. You bring your team along. We'll talk about the details, no problem. Or when you have a star member of your team and you know that they're so deserving for everything that they have helped you create in your business, and you want to say thank you to them in a way that they have never been thanked before, this could be an opportunity for them as well. Another option for you to consider, and another thing for us to discuss and make a plan that's gonna be really fitting. So yeah, the possibilities are definitely limitless. It is a very flexible program that we make your own 100%. The amount of flexibility I have never seen anywhere else. And you can go through my website, you can go through the catalog, and you will see what I mean. The destination, each and every one of them, we can pick based on where you want to go and when you want to go. Although I have to say that if we are looking at the schedule, we are aiming to spend summers in Škofja Loka because it is alpine climate. The summers are warm, but they're not humid. And if nothing else, you can literally jump in a river anytime. It is clean, it is cool. You have forests to cool off at. We are exploring the mountains. We can go down to the Adriatic Sea. It is a beautiful space to be in the summer. If you're aiming to come to New York City, spring and fall are gorgeous seasons to be in New York City. It's not too hot. In the spring, everything is blooming. In the fall, leaves are turning the color. And then winters were a better way to escape some of the coldness of the winter than to be in Hawaii. So, again, another thing that is very flexible, and we plan around your needs, around your schedule, around your expectations, around your wants and desires and aspirations. And I get goosebumps just thinking about it. So the reason I hopped on here again was to really take you back in time to where all of that even began. Like I said, the inspiration to travel the world was ignited going through those postcards, ranking them from the most beautiful to not so beautiful, from the most exciting to not so exciting, to the places I absolutely wanted to visit, to the ones I couldn't really care for that much. And I have to say that pretty much every place on the list has been checked off thus far. And then with basketball, I did not realize that basketball would become the ticket for me to actually get out of my town and explore the world and immerse in new cultures, learn new language, ultimately create a new home in a whole new country where we are right now. So travel has a very special place in my heart. It has shaped me greatly into who I am, and it has expanded my horizons. It has enriched my ability to see things from different perspectives. It has cleaned my lenses of so many tinted glasses. And it really is something that I am passing along to my girls, and it's something that I desire to share with my community, with a handful of clients. And the reason I say handful is because there is only room for a handful of clients in this global experience. And I'm very clear about that because I want to make sure that the experience each and every one of those clients have is 100% focused on them. That they receive the support, that they receive the attention that they deserve and need in order to get to the next level of what we are creating, in order to activate those leaps. And also, as a thought leader myself, I really excel in this environment. I excel in small, intimate groups, in deep conversations when deep understanding is required, as opposed to leading a superficial exchange, scratching the surface when we don't have the time to really address the issue, when everybody's competing for the 5 minutes of my attention. I don't think that really serves the purpose. I'm not saying that this is not the way that certain programs could be run. It's just not a fit for me. So if you too are looking for something that goes deeper, that takes you further, that launches you higher, that helps you spread wider, then this is definitely something to consider. Like I said, it's extremely flexible. We work with you, we make it work for you, and it's only limited to a handful of spaces, and they are as a first come, first serve basis. It is an ongoing enrollment because of those flexibilities. You also have a chance to do the 90, 180, or 365 options. So I don't want to put out the, open cart closes in 3 days and put that pressure on you, because I trust that you, as somebody in my circle, does not need that pressure, does not need those deadlines, because you already know what you want. You already are a creator, you're a manifester, you're a go-getter. When you set your mind to something, you know that you are going after it, and you know it's done already. So it is, right? So when you aspire to be a part of something like this global experience, it's already done. It's already done. There's no need for any marketing gimmicks, for any pressure or expiration dates or anything like it, because for yourself, first come first serve. If you want it, you're gonna make it happen. At first it might feel scary, because it is a big commitment, not just financially but also time and energy and focus, and the fact that you are gonna be leaving behind the old you, quite literally. So you might feel this nervousness the next day, but hey, that's just being a human, and you will remember who you are, and off we go. So let me know if you have questions, let me know how I can support you, and let's see what magic you and I can create together. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Thank you again for being here, and don't hesitate to reach out if there's anything you need, or if you're ready to experience this global experience on your own.